Hello, hi, hey, welcome to my unfiltered YouTube channel where you are encouraged to be the unfiltered version of yourself. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe so we can be free and unleashed together. Real Housewives of Atlanta may not have invited the Nene Leakes, the I'm Rich B OG to sit down at the table with the OGs of the hit Bravo show on episode 9 of season 15, but Carlos King took full advantage of Bravo's missed opportunity. Carlos King invited Nene to have a sit down on his YouTube show to spill all of the tea on Real Housewives of Atlanta and her life after leaving the show. In this interview, Nene is spilling all of the tea and Carlos is there to catch it. Lanithia Monique Leakes, known as Nene Leakes, is Dawn, the queen of all reality shows that is very much missed by the viewers of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nene is one of the 5 original cast members of the now top-rated reality show of Bravo. Nene was a main cast member of Real Housewives of Atlanta from season 1 in 2018 to season 7 in 2015. Although in 2015 she announced that she would not be returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta, Nene was featured in season 8. After a brief hiatus for 2 seasons, Nene returned as a full-time housewife for the 10th through 12th seasons from 2017 to 2020. On the show, we saw Nene married, divorced, and then remarried to who she says is her once-in-a-lifetime love, Greg Leakes. Nene and Greg were married from 1997 to 2011, divorced for 2 years, and then remarried from 2013 to 2021 when Greg succumbed to his battle with cancer. Nene has 2 sons, Bryson and Brent. Bryson, who is now 31, has been on the show since being a teenager. Brent, who is now 23, appeared on the show since being a preteen. Both Bryson and Brent have had some struggles post Real Housewives of Atlanta. Brent suffered congested heart failure and a stroke in September 2022. Although Nene spoke out about the doctors ruling out that Brent's weight was the cause of his health issues, in January 2023, Brent was seen on Instagram showing off his 100-pound weight loss. Nene had shared earlier that the doctors considered it could have been a genetic condition after recalling she was treated for a blood clot in her lungs in 2013, which was seen on the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 5 or 6. Bryson is currently struggling with the drug addiction and has recently been arrested with a $3,700 bond. Bryson has had several run-ins with the law, one of which was mentioned on Real Housewives of Atlanta season 4 in 2012 when Nene refused to bail Bryson out of jail after he was caught stealing razors from a local Walmart. At that time, Bryson was already on probation for being arrested in 2011 for driving under the influence and driving with a suspended license in 2012. He was also arrested in 2015 at McDonald's for planning to print counterfeit checks. Similar to Bryson's past arrest, Nene has decided to allow Bryson to learn a hard lesson by not choosing to bond him out of jail. Bryson was arrested this year, 2023, on July the 3rd in Lawrenceville, Georgia, facing multiple charges, including violations of probation, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, loitering, prowling, and giving a false name, address, or birthday. It was said that Bryson was posing as his younger brother Brent. Although some may believe that the Real Housewives of Atlanta show may have had a detrimental effect on Nene's son Bryson, Nene states that she does not blame the show but knows that the show did not help Bryson's situation. In the Part 1 interview with Carlos King, Nene talks about her son Bryson's recent arrest and drug abuse. Nene began to speak on her oldest son Bryson's recent arrest by stating that Bryson has 3 kids and a wife. Nene admitted that Bryson needs rehab counseling and that Bryson has been to rehab in the past but unfortunately relapsed. She openly says that she has spent a lot of money and several years of doing what she could to help her son Bryson. Nene says that she is not wiping her hands clean of her son Bryson, but there is nothing she can do until Bryson determines that he is ready to change. Nene shares that she is numb to the situation at this point. Several celebrities, including Lamar Odom, reached out to her offering to send her son to rehab. Her boyfriend John from season 2, after Nene divorced Greg, also offered to pay for Bryson's stay at a rehab facility in New York. In the Part 1 interview with Carlos King, Nene also talks about Real Housewives of Atlanta. Nene shares that on seasons 1 through 4, everybody was showing their real lives without focusing on having a storyline. Nene shared her regrets from being on the show was disciplining her son Bryson on camera regarding his 2012 arrest and speaking so much about her separation and divorce from Greg. From there, Nene talks about the seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Season 1, Nene shares that Real Housewives of Atlanta was piloted by her, Sheree, and Kim. Nene discloses that Lisa and Deshaun were added on later. Nene talks about feeling like she was an underdog, but she vowed to show up as her true self. Nene also shares that she made $10,000 for the whole season and $5,000 for the reunion. Season 2, Nene stated that she made $50,000 during season 2 and was increased to about $100,000 season 3 after her and the cast hired an attorney. Kenny Burris joined the cast during season 2. Season 3. Cynthia and Phaedra joined the cast during season 3. Nene stated that she was not happy about Phaedra joining the show because she knew Phaedra from Athens, although it can be seen on the season that Nene denied knowing Phaedra. Nene talks about Cynthia being a total different person behind the camera than what we have seen in front of the camera. Nene explains that a lot of the cast chose or choose not to show their true self for whatever reasons, whether it be their spouse, family, or not wanting to appear a certain way on TV. Season 4. Carlos stated that season 4 will seem to become redundant. This was the season Marlo joined as a friend of Nene. Season 5. Nene disagrees with Carlos and states that season 5 is when the show started to shift to the cast being focused or forced to create storylines versus being their authentic self. Season 5 is a season that both Kenya and Portia joined the cast. Nene said Kenya and Portia were great additions to the show. Kenya was known for being Miss USA. However, she began twirling and literally showing her ass posing as Phaedra in a netted see-through bikini wear. Nene jokingly said she did not know what the show had become. Portia, on the other hand, was known for her grandfather Hosea Williams, who played a significant role in the civil rights movement. However, Nene commented that Portia thought there was 265 days in a year. She also exclusively shared that Portia was on the chopping block after season 5, and Nene and Candy both talked with producers to get them to agree to have Portia stay a cast member. Nene said that her and Candy both explained that Portia was going through a divorce and really needed the show. Season 6, Carlo mentioned that he was the executive producer, making him the first black man to EP the show. Nene mentioned that during season 6, the show had 5 million viewers versus the 500,000 viewers for the current season 15, but they failed to consider, in my opinion, that most viewers are streaming the show versus watching it live because many people no longer have cable or might catch the season on Peacock, which released the day after. These numbers that they're using or used to use are truly not reflective of all the views. However, season 6 is said to be the strongest cast. Nene addressed that she did not see Kenya as the star of the show and never felt threatened by her or any of the cast members on the show. I agree, because if Kenya was the star of the show, she would be the star of the show now, which we can all see is not the case. In my opinion, no one is really the star of the show. Although the Pillow Talk episode of season 6 appeared to be the decline of Nene and Kenya's more relationship, Nene admitted that her and Kenya never really clicked. In the part 1 interview with Carlos King, Nene talked also about her marriage to Greg and her relationship after Greg's death. Nene was married to Greg since her 20s. She shares that before she started making real money from being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Greg was the breadwinner of their household. However, in retrospect, Nene admits that her being on the show changed the dynamic of their relationship because she felt that she unintentionally took Greg's role as the provider away when she began to make more money than him. We all know Nene is well known for her one-liners. One of her well-known one-liners is when she tells Kim Zolciak to close her leg to married men. The question is now posed to Nene that while she told Kim to close her legs to married men, Nene was opening her legs to one. Nene shares that she met her now ex, Nyan Ninsula Sayo, only 1 month after Greg's death. Her urgent and quick relationship with this Liberian man raised a lot of eyebrows because of him still being legally married. Nene explains that although Nye was legally married, he was in the process of getting a divorce and currently is divorced from his then wife. Therefore, Nene sees her relationship with Nye different from Kim's relationship with Big Papa. She even shared that Big Papa is still married to his wife, who happens to share Kim's name, Kimberly. Nene shares that her future relationship will have to be a man who makes more money than her. The interview ends with a conversation that leads into her lawsuit with Bravo, and Carlos has gained 200,000 plus views within 13 hours of posting the interview. Tune in for part 1 on his page and part 2, which will air on August the 1st. What are your thoughts on Nene no longer being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, as well as what she shares in her part 1 interview with Carlos King? Like, comment, and subscribe below. If you or someone is struggling with substance abuse, contact the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services SAMHSA National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP, 1-800-662-4357.